Good evening, good afternoon, or whatever the time is where you are. This is a Senior Synth stream, and I have to say before we start that I have a condition, so I have to leave every 30 minutes. I should never have called this show the Senior Synth stream. It beats me. Okay, let's introduce our guests. So far we have Chris from Wine and Sense and Germany.
Today with the original wine. Hello.
Yeah. And from Los Angeles we have Andy.
Bay Area, but that's close enough. It's California.
Yeah, okay, California. Yeah.
I don't have any wine, just water. Sorry, since mine's boring.
I have water too. Yeah, we are going to talk about Superbooth today. We have a few more guests arriving later. I hope. One of them I'm sure of. But let's see. Let's start. Superbooth. Chris, you know Mr. Schneider, Herr Schneider. He's the man behind Superbooth. Can you tell us about his idea of Superbooth?
So this is a vast subject because hello. So I literally don't know where to start. The idea behind Superbooth. The origin, I think, after what I understood, is that at first it was something that happened on the Musikmesse, where Andreas had the idea to make just one booth to give the possibility for smaller gear manufacturers to show their stuff. And this was a time when all those small manufacturers started with Eurorack and all the stuff that Andreas is in. And so this was a start. So he had some smaller manufacturers and he bought one booth on the Musikmesse in Frankfurt. And then they made a common thing there. And and at one point the Musikmesse became obsolete and Andreas started to make it here in Berlin as his own trade fair or show or festival or whatever you can call it, because it's not the usual trade fair. It's far from that. And what can I say more? The best thing to do is to come to the Superbooth, actually. It's in 1 month now. And if you haven't done it yet, buy a ticket to come to Berlin. And
what was the first year of Superbooth? When did it start?
I don't know, really. It's maybe 10 years ago, something like this. Or here in Berlin, and the rest on Musikmesse maybe 15 years ago. So I'm always surprised. Today I listened to some music. To me it was like I bought the record yesterday and it was from 99. It's something you shouldn't miss, because Superbooth is so special. It's a whole different atmosphere than the usual trade fair. And if you know Andreas Schneider, the person, you understand the whole thing, because it's somebody who likes the people, who likes to communicate, who likes to have crazy ideas and to realize them, and everything is easy, you know.
Yeah,
No
the last few years they had
problems.
the bungalows, right? That's a new thing, the bungalows outside.
Yeah, outside the bungalow village, they call it Bungalow Dorf. It's a very fun place. So the whole park where the Superbooth takes place is it's how's it called? It's a kind of yeah, it's a kind of park. It's from the former GDR, from East Germany, and it was a place, you know, buildings where people can go to swim and make sports and watch
It's like
a
a camping place, right?
movie.
Camping with little houses and stuff.
Yeah, it's a bungalow village, but it's
Yeah.
just part of a bigger thing, which contains all those restaurants and swimming pools and park and a stage, and because the main part of the Superbooth takes place inside also in this old East German building, which is also very special. And and so it's extended over the whole place. And 3 years ago, Andreas came up with this idea because we had Corona problems. So he came up with this idea of a trade fair that happens outside, open air trade fair. And so he started to incorporate this bungalow village and also the tents outside. So now you have a lot of manufacturers who are presenting their stuff in tents. So in one tent you will have normally 2, 4, 6 manufacturers presenting their stuff. They all have loudspeakers, of course, and every time you enter a tent like this, it's noisy, and sometimes it's a terrible mess, and sometimes you come in a tent and everybody's jamming together in one beat.
Yeah, and those little buildings are smart because you have the isolation of the sound and stuff, so you can just go play with something, listen to it directly. You know.
Yeah, so in the bungalow village it's different because there they have small cabins. And for example, you have UDO from Bristol. They have a small cabin where they present their synths and where you can try them. And yeah, it's a very nice place. You have another cabin where you will meet Mr. Meyer from Austria with his stuff. In another cabin, you will find Buchla synths, or also very special stuff from smaller companies like Floating Point Instruments, the multi-clock from my friend Sebastian, who also makes those modules. Like
Do you know how they choose who goes in the bungalows and who goes in the big building? Do you know how they figure that out?
I think the Bungalow Dorf is more is a place that is specially reserved to the manufacturers that are also distributed via Schneider himself.
Right. Okay.
Because Andreas Schneider also has a synthesizer shop, the one and only synthesizer shop in Berlin, I think.
Schneider's Laden.
Schneider's Laden, and they just moved to a new place in Neukölln, which is very spectacular. It was an old music shop from 100 years ago, something like this, and actually he bought the house and the old shop and the old furnitures, and he put his shop inside. And
wow.
So if you come to the Superbooth to Berlin, you also have to visit Schneider's Laden, and then also he has a kind of how he participates in a kind of distribution company for smaller manufacturers, also to take care of distribution in Germany. And
he's kind of the hotbed of Eurorack when it's getting hot, right? I mean, it was like one of the few shops.
Yeah, he was first to be specialized in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And this comes from the fact that Andreas is a very good friend with Döpfer, Dieter Döpfer, who is the inventor of Eurorack. So I think the the Superbooth also on Musikmesse started also in cooperation with Dieter Döpfer.
That's cool.
I'm not sure, so I was not there.
Yeah. No,
the first time I met Andreas Schneider was way before, years before, in the 90s. I think it was around 98 or 99. And by this time, he took care of the distribution of Jomox, of the drum computers from Jürgen Michaelis. And this is how we met. So the first time I met Andreas Schneider was like Jürgen Michaelis came to visit me. By the time I didn't live in Berlin, I lived near Cologne in Western Germany, and it was like, yeah, we want to make some demonstration on a party in Cologne, and I will come with my new marketing guy, and this was Andreas Schneider. They came both kind of van, and we drove to the party, had an extremely interesting night with Dr. Walker in a bunker, and made a demonstration with Jomox drum boxes and I think Technosaurus synth modules and
Sunsyn, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Sunsyn came later. So we also, by the time we had the studio, and for a time we had a prototype of the Sunsyn in the studio, and it was never working.
Oh wow! Was stuff like quasi MIDI there? Was that a popular thing back then?
Yeah, but this is a different story. Quasi MIDI started also before. I think it was kind of 94, 95 when they came out with the Quasar and then with the Technox and the Raven. And by this time I worked there as a product specialist.
Oh, really?
For those instruments.
Oh, cool.
And so I wrote the manuals for the Revolution 309, the Sirius, and I also give
I love the Sirius. It's fun.
I love. I also give the name to the polymorph. Actually,
oh, nice.
The guy who invented this name.
Yeah, I finally got one.
I have a video about the story on my channel.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Interested.
But Jörg Schaaf is a cool guy, so
he's one of my very best friends, and so I greet him this evening because I know that sometimes he also sees this.
He watches. Oh, cool. Oh, hi, Jörg. I met him once at I think it was at NAMM. I don't think he's been going to NAMM for a while, but he used to go to NAMM. And one of these days I gotta make it to Superbooth. It looks like a lot of fun.
I also went to NAMM with Jörg in 97 or something.
Oh wow.
Like this. We had a lot of fun. We went to Summer NAMM in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we were making a demonstration with the Revolution 309 in Nashville, Tennessee. And so this was a bit special back in the days. And there was a guy coming along with a cowboy hat, and he was like, this is not music.
Of course, yeah. Right.
And back in the days, we had a distributor in the USA. It was Radical Technologies, so the company that made the synthesizers later on. And so we had one guy from Radical Technologies who said to the guy, "Hey man, take your fiddle and go home."
Well, it's funny how things have changed, because when I was at the Bungalows event at NAMM this year, there was a guy with a cowboy hat walking around with a Scotsman. So it was very entertaining. So.
So there's a circle comes together, because the first time actually I met Jürgen Michaelis from Jomox was at NAMM in LA, because I was there for Quasi MIDI making the demonstration, And it was the first year where Jürgen came with his drum computer to show the first the first prototypes and to present it to the public. And so we met and sympathized.
So how many times have you been to Superbooth?
How many times? Oh, not so often. Maybe
just once in a while.
4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
And since I do the channel, of course, I'm there every year. Because
I really like that virtual one he did, because a lot of stuff, the coverage is always not super heavy if you're not there to see lots of things. But that virtual one, I got to see everything because everything was on stream. That 1 year with COVID where he did the virtual one, that was great. I can't remember what year that was, but it's all blurry.
Yeah, and actually, this was the first time I met. This was the first time I made a video also at Superbooth. So we also made a total coverage because it was COVID and we all had to wear those masks and stuff like this. And my idea was to show everything to the people who cannot come there because of all this.
Exactly,
COVID. And this was also a good impulse for our channel back in the days.
Hey, Henrik, how many times have you been to Superbooth?
Actually, it's my first Superbooth. I hope to. I've saved for it, so I should be able to go, unless this condition ends like it did for my dad 25 years ago. It was with surgery and all that stuff. So I hope it's not the same, but I fear. So let's see. But I plan to go to Superbooth. That's. I really want to go to Superbooth. I've wanted to go to Superbooth for many years now.
Looks like fun.
So, yeah, and I have friends who goes there. One of them is joining us later, Götz, which is one of my colleagues. And we have talked about it so many times that we should do it. And he does it every year. I hope I can do it now. So
that's cool. Yeah, it's been a haul for me to get over there. So
yeah.
So come on, we are also going to NEN show. So you can make an effort.
Yeah.
I had to get my passport. My passport's expired. So.
Yeah. But Andy, you cover everything, even the carpets.
Cheap excuses.
Hey, you got it, right? You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing ceilings. You know, the carpets are passé now. I'm gonna start covering ceilings and stuff.
So now I haven't heard everything or anything of what you talked about. So
we won't say it again because.
That's
just
not
talking about
nice.
the days before Superbooth and
I was telling something about my story, how I met Andreas and Michaelis and how it started with quasi MIDI and name shows and stuff like this. So this is
then
where I met those people, and later we met again in Berlin. So.
Yeah. I have to get my tea, then I have a very good subject we can continue with. So 2 seconds. I'm not prepared today.
No problem.
Your teeth?
Tea, yeah, his tea.
The tea, not the teeth. Okay.
Yeah. So you went to Music Messe a bunch as well to compare it?
Oh, yes, of course.
Because that was really big, right? That was a big show.
Yeah, back in the days, also in the 90s, I went there for quasi MIDI, and I was I had the big luck to be the guy in charge of the booth.
Yeah.
And at quasi MIDI, it was the style that we make everything ourselves.
Right.
We don't source anything out. We make everything ourselves. And I was 1 month before Musikmesse. I built the whole booth, the whole stand in a garage.
Yeah.
On the quasi place. And I figured everything out. And then, of course, we went there with all the people from the production who normally build synthesizer, came with me built a booth in Frankfurt on the Messe, and of course this is a big trade fair. Or it was a big trade fair like any other trade fairs. We had the ginormous booths of Roland and Korg. Yeah, later on, for one Musikmesse, I worked for Korg.
Oh wow!
And I made the world sales launch for the for the first Electribes. This drum module, and there was also a bass line. It was a red and a blue one. I don't remember.
You know, the EMX
and
ESX?
And all, EA something.
Big metal
so it was.
Yeah.
It was one was with drums and one was like a 303 with the sequencer in it. And the senior, they presented the first Chaos pad. And so I don't know. I got this job to make the demonstrations on the Korg stand inside in this insulated cabin. And I remember that Mr. Kato was always standing near the booth and swinging on. Because in this Korg booth we were the only guys making techno, with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And the next demonstration was a guy with an accordion. Or some electronic, I don't know.
Well, Roland made that MIDI accordion a while back. That was funny.
Yeah. And this was also a very special experience. I really loved those jobs on trade fairs and demoing stuff and selling and talking to people. It's always great. I really like it. And later on, when I worked with the wine, it was the same. I worked a lot on big wine shows to give lessons and seminars and
I know Nick Battard had good coverage of those shows, but I forgot the one he got lost. Was that Musikmesse or Superbooth, where he got lost in all the hallways and was running around? Do you remember that? It was famous. It became a meme, actually. Someone edited it together. It looks like he's endlessly looking.
But of course it can happen. But I think it's more on the Musikmesse then, because Superbooth normally you find your marks again.
Right, okay. Yeah, so that was probably Messe then. All right. That was funny stuff.
Yeah. And but back in the days in the 90s, it was a totally different world with the music manufacturing. On the Musikmesse, you also had the stands from the magazines, from Keyboards magazine.
It's like NAMM, where it's everything. It's
and in the evening, they had parties. You went there to talk to the journalists, have a beer, and having fun. This was how we made this networking back in the days, without internet. And and I'm totally happy to know this to know this time before all this virtual internet stuff started.
But now it has also turned into something different. It's about meeting people. It's about getting together again, seeing all the people you talk or play music with online. Meeting them there.
And this is I think really the intention of Superbooth also, not only to be a place where you can see new instruments and check stuff out, but where you can also meet your friends or people you see daily on YouTube or wherever, or, people you have a chat with online or whatever. So this is a great opportunity to meet your friends, of course. So this is why I tell you to come to Berlin.
Yeah. When you are there, are you going through all the 3 days, all day long, or how do you do it, Chris?
No, normally I just have 2 days there.
Yeah.
And so the last years we had a tight schedule also to plan our videos and to see what we'll cover, and but in 2 days normally it's it's totally enough. So the third day you can do it to go deeper in the stuff that you're especially interested in, maybe. But in 2 days you can see everything. One day is too short.
Yeah.
Are there certain days that are longer, more busy than others? Like with NAMM, like usually like the first day is not so
Yeah,
much,
of
but the
course.
second day is crazy, you know.
So I think it goes from Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Saturday, of course, it's packed. So better go on Thursday. Usually, yeah.
But
And back in the days on Musikmesse, it was, I think, nearly a week or 5 days, and the first 3 days were only for professionals. And only on the weekend, the public was allowed to go in. But at Superbooth, it's different. Everybody can go there, you buy your ticket, but it's normal that on the weekend, more people are going there.
Yeah, this year was the first year NAMM allowed anyone to go. You just had to pay more money if you weren't already going. So they got smart. They go, hey, let's get the riffraff coming in because, you know, maybe attendance was down. I'm not sure. But every time I went before, you had to have, you know, they had to clear you to be able to go. Like I went in as like a musician type.
Yeah, to prove
But
that you're
before that, my friend had to
professional.
get me in. I couldn't get in
Mhm.
because I'm not in the
Yeah,
industry.
you had so special badges. And yeah, I know this.
Yeah.
Also on the major wine fairs today, it's the same because they don't allow non-professionals to fairs with alcohol and stuff like this because it's really a mess
People getting drunk.
afterwards. Yeah, people are getting drunk and
yeah.
No, it's not good. And in really professional fairs, they don't allow.
They did that here with the fancy food fair in San Francisco. You used to be able to go and just register a fake name and go and just gorge on like one hall was all European stuff, one hall was all North American stuff, and you would just get tons of alcohol and food and chocolate and cheese and everything. And finally, they clamped down on that. You have to have an actual license, a business license to register.
Yeah.
So.
But with musical instrument, I think it's different because this is really a good opportunity to get the public to see the stuff. Because another problem nowadays is that all those music shops are closing. So I said that Schneider's Laden is the one and only synthesizer shop in Berlin. It's also the last one.
Is it fairly busy when you go in there, or is it not?
I don't know. I never go there actually because if I need something, usually Herr Schneider comes to my place and brings it to me.
Okay.
And so the problem is that we don't have any music stores here in the city anymore. The last bigger music stores where you could buy guitars and saxophones and drum sets, it's called Just Music. It was also a really big shop in the city. It just closed in March.
Yeah.
They went bankrupt because they didn't stand Thomann. Whatever.
We have the same problem here. A lot of only Guitar Center and a few other big ones hang on. Everything else is the small ones.
Sweetwater and stuff like this.
There was a modular shop that opened city here near San Jose. I think it was open. By the time I discovered it was open, I wanted to go and I called the guy. He goes, "Oh, this was our last week." I went, "What?" They're open for like 6 months or something. It was like that's crazy.
Yeah, so I see in the US it's a bit the same than here in Europe. Nowadays it's really a high risk to open any kind of shops or smaller structures. So it's really difficult.
Do they sell at Superbooth or is it just display only?
No, it's display only.
Okay, because NAMM sells a few things, but it's complicated to get it out of there. You got to get a special receipt, and they think you stole it off the floor.
Afterwards, I don't know if you talk to the guys if they want to sell it to you. I'm not sure, so I have no idea about this.
Yeah,
and I think there will be any kind of policy which will give a rule to this, but I don't know it.
Because a lot of those companies, they don't want to ship stuff back. So if you, like, this Chinese lady is trying to get me to buy a guzheng that I was admiring, and those are huge, right? It's a giant harp, it's like a big zither, and it. I was like, oh, I'd love to buy that, but where am I going to put it? You know, can't carry it out of here. So funny stuff.
For people who want to go to Superbooth, where do people live? Do they rent a room, or what do they do?
I don't know,
Maybe you
because
don't know.
I have a flat in Berlin.
Yeah,
If
maybe
I want
we
to
should
go
keep.
to Superbooth, I call a taxi.
Yeah. We'll keep the question for later when Pierre arrives, because
But,
he needs a place to stay every year.
But of course, you can ask your friends. I'm sure that I can also offer space for 2 or 3 people who want to sleep here during Superbooth. That won't be a problem. But then I think it will also be time to reserve your hotel room or your how is it called, Airbnb or whatever. It's like in any other big city.
Yeah.
And but in Berlin we also have a very serious crisis with, for space for living. So there are no flats, no houses, nothing. It's really difficult, and it becomes like London or New York City. So you need 3 jobs to pay your flat.
Yeah. Same here. When on the booth, it lasts a whole day. How are the conditions for eating?
There are a lot of stands with different food offerings, like Asian food or traditional German stuff like Bratwurst, of course.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. You also have a very nice wine stand, which is usually made by Tante Frizzante, where you can have your glass of champagne or wine or your alcohol-free beer, whatever you like.
Is it all
Yeah.
crazy
So-
prices too? Everything gets marked
No,
up.
no crazy prices.
Oh,
no
that's good.
crazy prices. Superbooth is all, in normal price ranges.
That's a rarity then, because every other place like NAMM and
Yeah,
everyone
but
else overcharges.
yeah, I know. But this is also Andreas Schneider, because Andreas,
Right.
if you would talk to him, and he will not spend 15 euros for a beer at the Musikmesse. It's not his thing. So.
Yeah.
So this is why at Superbooth everything is also affordable.
When we see a video on YouTube about Superbooth, we always see the booths. We don't see what else is happening. Like there are what do you call it? Where they speak about things. There are presentations.
There's some conferences.
Yeah.
And,
Main stage kind of thing.
Yeah, but there the Superbooth has an own YouTube channel also, I think, where they publish this, but not live and not in direct. Usually they bring this during the year afterwards. It's
Yeah.
not.
Do they also have small stages of music playing throughout, like live bands and?
Yes, of course. There's also a big. There are several stages. So there's a big stage in the main area where the trade fair is, and then there are 3, 4, 5 smaller stages. There's also this year there will also be a kind of club stage with a DJ where you can have drinks and stuff like this. Also in an open air area restaurant from this park. And, so a lot of things to discover every time.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's nice when they have that where you can just wander around and see different things. So
But actually, you can watch my Superbooth coverage videos from last year and the year before, because I made all those. I filmed all those things also while working around and going from one area to another. And oh, hello.
hello.
So that's my colleague Per, and you're muted, Per. Not yet.
No.
Yeah, we'll just continue. So let's talk more about Per. As if we talked a lot about him.
Okay.
Well, where did we come from?
The different stages, events, and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think I can hear you, Per. No.
No.
Go into settings, audio in StreamYard. Yeah. I think it means a reboot. Yeah, it looks like.
I noticed a problem because I did Ramsey earlier today. Every time lately I've done Ramsey and the vMix, the StreamYard does not work. vMix somehow holds on to something or tweaks something, and even after a reboot, sometimes it doesn't come back right away. StreamYard's really picky about picking up devices. I don't know why. Because I can go to the camera app and the camera works. I can go to YouTube and start a stream, the camera works. But StreamYard is really picky at times.
Yeah, it auto selects what is available.
And you go choose it manually, it still doesn't like it. You get this like yellow box that comes up, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, that's right. But it's usually easy to get it to work again. Well, yeah, cut. Okay. Shall we give him a chance? You could sing a song while waiting.
1, 2, 3. I can also take you to the studio. We are just producing a track.
Yeah. Per, I think you know Chris, or you have seen him before. You don't have to answer. I'm just trying to present the guys here. And now you can't hear a thing. You can. Okay. Maybe I should wait. Let's see. But conferences or what kind of conferences is that? Is that about doing modular or programming, or what kind of talks are there?
Usually it's with people from the industry, philosophical things that are discussed, or I don't really know. I always went there during the daytime and never attended the conferences in the evening, so I can't really tell you. I just saw it then afterwards on YouTube or on a program. But I was never too interested to watch other people talking, so I'm more interested in seeing the gear.
Yeah, and you told there's the wine tent, so you have you have pretty much to do there.
Yes.
Yeah. Per, you just say a sound when, and I'll let you know when I hear you. So just keep singing or talking or whatever you do. And meanwhile, I will present the other guests for you, Pierre. Andy at the bottom, synth addict. He's from California. I used to say LA, but it's Bay Area. Yeah. We can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, near San Francisco, Bay Area. So.
Yeah. And you have never been on Superbooth, but you know
I've never
all
been
the
to Europe properly, just the Frankfurt airport on the way to Africa. So.
But you know all the carpets at NAMM. It's actually a little joke because Andy has done a lot of live streaming from NAMM, and one of the live streams he filmed all the carpets.
So the quick backstory to that is I was talking, I think it was Ken Flux Pierce, and while I was yakking with him, I thought I'm not just going to hold the camera at his face because we're just talking about random stuff that wasn't really good for the stream. So I just aimed it at the ground for a while, and then people started going, "Hey, what's with the carpet? Oh, that's awful carpet. It's just carpet," and then pretty soon that became a thing. So now I intentionally shoot carpet everywhere I go.
So. Chris, he has a channel called Wine and Synths. He drinks a lot of wine and plays a lot of synths.
And I also sell wine, actually. I own a wine shop here in Berlin.
And he's also on the cover of Schneidersladen. Yeah, last year when they made a small brochure for Superbooth, I think.
Der Senior Synth Stream. Senior Synth Stream. Ist voll geil. Yeah, so last year, at Superbooth, Herr Schneider had a surprise for me. When I met him there on the second day, he was like, "Did you see the new brochure of Schneider's Laden?" And I said, "No, why?" And he showed me this. So this is the thing. And actually, this is me, the guy in the wheelchair, filming all the synths. And he put me on the cover. So, yeah. Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we have introduced the guest for Per. And Per, if you try rebooting, or let's see if that helps, then I will tell you about Per. Per plays in a band, as far as I know, or a few. He can tell more about that later. And then he works with video editing at Danmarks Radio. It's the national broadcasting company here in Denmark, DR. And aren't you rebooting, Per? He's probably editing a video.
But can you hear us?
Yeah, he can hear us, so that's no problem. The problem is we can't hear him. So but I guess you know. Well, Superbooth evenings. Is it a lot of partying?
So this, as I told you, it's I can't tell you anything about it because I always leave.
Yeah, you go to bed early, I know.
But do they actually have flyers or cards they hand out or something, or do you just have to hang out to find what's going on?
I think they have a website where you can check all this stuff, and of course they have flyers and.
I mean, for the special parties, like they may only want to invite certain people or something, or
Also, really, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know what happens.
A lot of times companies won't have small venues.
Yeah, and of course, by this time there will be a lot of smaller events everywhere around in the city.
Yeah.
Like on every trade fair.
I'm just answering some of them in the chat, so if you please continue.
So they're talking about.
What's your favorite thing you've seen there when you've been there several times? What's
on Superbooth?
Yeah.
So for me, it's always a bit. How can I tell this? So I'm really not a Eurorack guy. I don't like modular systems, and I don't own one. I'm simply not interested in it. So in a musical way, and I don't see the opportunity or the necessity to have a modular system to produce music. I prefer real synthesizers. And and so every time for me it's a lot of stuff to discover because for me it's new, I totally ignore all this modular stuff, and I'm always totally fascinated like a kid. And okay. And they also build really nice things, they're huge and all those cables in it, and it's really fascinating. And then on the other hand, of course, you have also manufacturers of real synthesizers, and then of course you have the opportunity to check them out, to have a chat with people. So I made a very good contact with George Hearn from UDO, for example, or with the guy from Modor who makes those drum machines. And this is always very nice also to make contacts, to get new gear for the channel, to check out, to make videos.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how often do you get something new based on what you saw there?
Yeah, so this is my first interest in Superbooth, to meet the people and to discover new things that I want to cover on my channel and that fit the subject, because I'm not a Eurorack channel. I will never present or discuss any Eurorack stuff. It's simply not my subject. And so for me, the Superbooth is a little bit easier than for a Eurorack guy because I can select the synth stuff. So it's a little bit.
What about the semi-modular stuff? Do you like that at all? Kind of the halfway between semi-modular. Do you like that stuff where it's a keyboard
yes,
that
of
has
course.
the patch points?
Yeah, I own a Moog Matriarch, and I have a Radical Technologies Delta SEP A, of course. I have a Behringer B2600. So the semi-modular stuff is quite interesting, especially the Moog Matriarch is a very nice instrument. But in 95% of the time, I never use a patch cable with it.
Right.
Or it's always the same that takes a clock or trigger input from somewhere else, so to get it in sync. But otherwise, I prefer to make music without cables. I don't know.
I mean, it's like MS-20. A lot of people don't patch their MS-20s either, so.
I prefer it unplugged.
Yeah. I also think that's the best sound of a Yamaha DX7. That's when it's unplugged.
Waiting for that.
Glop, glop, glop.
Well,
I think it's not fair. The DX7 is a nice synthesizer. Come on.
It's nice. I mean, it's all about the user, right? What
Yeah.
presets do you have? How do you play it? How do you modulate it? All that
Yeah.
stuff. So,
It's always the question what you do with the stuff.
yeah. Buchla is a classic example because Buchla can sound amazing, but also can sound like doot, 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 you know.
Yeah, like a fart.
Yeah, you can spend $20,000 to go doot 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 because no one knows how to patch it because they don't take the time. They just bought it as a showpiece.
I don't have a use case for stuff like this, you know. I don't want to study 5 years before I get a usable sound out of a box like this. It costs a lot of money.
It's not that bad, but you see a lot of guys like Tom Holkenborg and stuff are now getting into Buchla, and he's been doing modular for years, as well as the 5U stuff, and also classic synths, as well as all the computer-based stuff. And now he's gravitated to Buchla because it's for him, it's a new sound, and he wants new sounds for his soundtracks. So.
But I don't really get all this East Coast and West Coast stuff, and so it's
a little weird. And now there's a lot of stuff that's hybrid, like the Make Noise Zero Coast is a little bit of both. So
yeah, last year I made a review of the Tiger from Pittsburgh. Oh, I think it was the baddest review I ever made for a synthesizer module.
Oh.
So.
Now they have a keyboard.
I really didn't like it. I did not understand the sound, and I cannot recommend it. But so other people like it, so everyone's choice.
Yeah, exactly. Something for everybody.
Something you both can answer. Before you go to a show, what do you prepare for? What do you want to go and see?
So for us, we make a list of the gear we have to take with us, of course, to make our videos. And if you intend to make a video coverage of Superbooth, I recommend to you to keep it simple. Make it with your iPhone or with a small action cam like a GoPro or something like this, and try to have something like a Bluetooth microphone system, like this Rode mobile things you can take to make an interview or whatever you like. And a gimbal is also a very nice thing for your iPhone. So don't mess around with cameras and microphones and sound recorders. It's a mess. Nowadays you can do everything with your smartphone.
Yeah, I've invested in a Action DJI Osmo Action 3 camera, and then besides recording the audio there, I will also record the audio on the telephone. So if I should fix anything, I may be able to fix it, or I may not. But let's see. So that's how I have prepared. I want to do a lot of videos from there. So
yeah, and then of course I make a plan of people I want to see, of course. And as it's also a very vast show, you have to see. You have to make a plan, of course, where you want to go first and what you want to see on the first day, what you want to see on the second day. So for me, it was always very nice and comfortable to make the inside stuff the first day and to watch all the stuff that is outside, the tents and the bungalow village on the second day. So this was a good mix.
Yeah. How do you prepare, and what do you prepare for, Andy, for a show?
Well, NAMM is tricky because now this last one was actually 4 days instead of 3. I don't think it's always 4 days, but I've only been going to NAMM for a few years now, except for the one back in 2009. So what I normally do is I'll quickly look just to see if most of the vendors are there in the app. Get the NAMM app and see the map and see the listing of vendors and stuff. I'm just looking to see who's not going to be there, just as a quick glance, not to plan anything official. And then as soon as I get there, I immediately hit the synth area that they concentrate on, which is usually like a few rows and a few columns, one way or the other, and it's not that huge. Because most of the NAMM is like band instruments, guitars, drums, things like that. So I'll cover that whole area as quickly as I can the first day, and then eventually do an overall sweep of the thing, and also go to the annex building next door, check out the stuff outside, and then look for buskers and live music outside and stuff. And then just kind of lather, rinse, and repeat for the next few days. Just catch stuff I missed, go back and actually take some time to play with some stuff when the lines are not so bad. Sometimes the first day is usually the best day at NAMM because it's much more sparse. It's on a weekday. And so if you can get in there and put some of that time into playing with the gear you want to play with, you wait 2 days or whatever, you're going to get so many people there, you'll never get to the gear you want to play with. So, and I'm not usually, I run into people left and right with the live stream, so that's always fun. But I'm not normally interviewing anybody per se. I'm just kind of walking around and asking a few questions, saying hi to people. And then if I help out on PSN, I'll obviously jump into the show and give them a tour and ask a few people questions they want me to ask, stuff like that. But that's kind of it. Pretty basic.
Yeah. I plan to do more about what the show is called today, behind the scenes. So I'm not doing interviews either, but I would like to show when other streamers are or YouTubers are doing their interviews. I would like to record that, how they do it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I always run into Nick Bat and go, hey, look at his rig, check that out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, you will meet all those people there.
Yeah, I know.
Ask them. Yeah. And if you like, we can also meet.
Yeah, I'd like
kind of meeting with people who want to meet us, for example.
Yeah.
So last year and the year before, I also had a meeting with a lot of, so I don't like the word fans, but subscribers from our channel. It was very nice to meet in person, to have a chat. And so this brings in a whole new sense, to the stuff, to see that there are real people watching your videos and interested in what you're doing. So it's a very nice opportunity to meet people simply.
Yeah, it's a good place for contact.
The same kind of things than you are, and you will, of course, meet new people and make interesting new discoveries and so on and so on and so on. So
yeah, I was hoping to meet Ken Flux too, because he's been on this show many times, but he has changed plans, so he's not coming to Superbooth this year. I wonder who's coming for ASM then. I don't know, but
I think Manny's going to be
I
there,
would have
right?
liked to meet.
Is it Manny coming to Superbooth?
I think he is. Yes, he is. I asked him. I have to look it up. I have it right here. So let's see. there. Oh, it's up here. Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing, obviously, too, these things are pretty big. You want to have nice walking shoes so you don't hurt your feet.
There's sound now.
Yeah, we heard that.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but we can't see you.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Now the camera's broken.
Yes, exactly. I changed to my girlfriend's computer, and the camera is broken.
But at least we can hear you. Then you can put on your computer, and we make and connect with that. Then you have a new window with a picture. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then would be 2 computers.
Yeah, that's okay. We can do that. You have audio on that computer. I'll try to mute this one. Try to speak. Yeah, okay. You don't. You only have audio on your girlfriend's computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, good. But now at least we can see and hear you.
Yeah.
So let's go to this picture.
But she can't see her TV series now because she got the other crappy.
So we hope you won't get in trouble because of this.
The mouse pad is broken on the 3rd.
This interview time is going to cost you later. That's it. Yeah.
We are getting more online. I see.
Sorry.
No. I don't know. I hope we are getting one more guest. I'm not sure if he's sober enough to join. Let's see.
Hopefully he won't be on 3 computers.
Is this that special guest you mentioned before? Is this...
No. Did I mention a special guest?
Well, I don't want to give it away, but...
Haven't I wrote you about that?
I forgot.
So there are no special guests today.
Okay.
Except all of you, of course.
Yeah, we are very special. So.
I have to go visit the little room again. Yeah.
Getting smoke. So I will have another glass of wine.
So Per, what's your favorite thing about Superbooth?
It's the greatest grill party in all of Berlin.
Yeah. So you stay for the after stuff, all the actual parties and stuff.
There's really a good mood there.
Yeah.
And just hanging around and watching the live concerts and talking with some extremely beautiful, intelligent people, dedicated as well. It's just nice hanging around.
Yeah,
I think. And then I also, of course, have a passion for modular synthesis. Mm-hmm. So it's just like it's kind of coming home to all your friends.
Yeah. Are there like jams afterward? Like people just kind of meet up and just start jamming?
No. I haven't experienced that. There's usually a riverboat going from Fes where it's held, and then to the center of Berlin, and then there's an arrangement in the club.
Oh,
but nice. I only went there once because usually I try to get a hotel as close to Fes as possible.
Yeah, I think this thing with the boat, they did it some years ago, but they don't do it every year. Last year, they did
So the boat's one way. So if you take a ride over the boat, you're gonna get an Uber or something to go back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At 7 in the morning,
Yeah. Wow.
and I'm getting too old for that.
Yeah.
But I think we're listening.
Yeah, that's right. I think I have to fix another computer.
Nej, det er bare your girlfriend who needs fixing.
That's great.
It's fixed.
Oh my God,
So-
it's loud now.
But there's another thing concerning sessions. Sometimes during the day, you will have some serious sessions in tents or
Well, now they
stands
know how to make a corset.
with people coming by. So
Ah,
I remember
yeah.
we had some nice plays with Jörg Schaaf at Radical Technologies and stuff like
That's
that. So
yes.
very good sessions also with people coming by.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm.
But I was just kind of watching in awe and was too afraid to participate. I think one of the peculiar things is every time I see another person's modular synth, it's just like a personal journey.
Ah, yeah, it's intimate.
And I can't use it because I don't know all the tweaks and
Yeah, and somebody touched it before with his hands.
it's okay, but all the ideas behind it, it's so personalized.
Yeah. If you didn't patch it, you don't know what's going on. You have to figure it out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're trying to be musical and not do reverse engineering, right? So. Yeah.
Or just not looking stupid.
I will try something. Let's see if it works. Nah, it didn't. I was hoping to remove the icon for Pierre, but I have to do that before starting the stream. Disable the icons. Yeah. Okay.
The next time I will have it fixed.
It's okay. It's okay. We can live with it. All guests haven't shown up, so we have lots of spaces for it.
For broken cameras.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Henrik wanted to know if you have special recommendations for people who are looking for a room or accommodation to stay in Berlin while attending Superbooth, because I'm not the right person, because I already said that I have a flat and I just take a taxi to go there.
Yeah.
So maybe you have the better tips.
Not really.
Not
Because there was this kind of fascinating hotel close by where the riverboat was.
Okay. Landing.
Yeah, it was landing, and I can't really remember the name of the hotel, but it's closed now. It was a biodynamic hotel with yoga at 6 and
So you have to get up at 6 to make yoga in this hotel.
if you wanted to, and there was only Teslas in the car park. You couldn't.
Sounds like Scientology or something.
Yeah, religious, and you couldn't get an egg because it was in Danish it's called vegansk. So it's no animal product at all in the house.
Something like this. Yeah, in Berlin there are a lot of places who are a bit extreme.
Yeah, and I was getting more and more freaked out, and there was balconies associated with the rooms, and then I noticed that in the corner there was an ashtray. So then everything was okay.
Yeah, they're not that healthy. They still smoke.
This
right?
was the last remain to the real world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, Per, I was thinking, can you in StreamYard, if you say stop cam on your girlfriend's computer, then I think the icon disappears. Yeah.
Wow.
Then we can go to this mode.
And we can still hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it's like this all the time, and we've been there since Corona started.
Yeah. Yeah. Per, what are you preparing for when you're going to a booth? What do you really want to see? Do you make a plan?
No. I really like the Sprechkonzerten, where the manufacturer get like half an hour to present their news, and often has some kind of artist associated with it. I think that's a very, very nice feature of the Superbooth.
Gesprächskonzerte, they call it.
Gesprächskonzerte. Exactly.
So it's a kind of showcase where a manufacturer can show his new synth and make a demo and tell something about it.
Yeah,
People.
and then they do it in different ways.
On different stages and different.
There is usually I haven't been there since before Corona. There was a special stage for it, and then this was a program. You could go and see Erika Synth. You could go and see. They usually were quite fun and had prepared something stupid that you could laugh off halfway through.
I think you can also watch some of them on the Superbooth channel on YouTube.
Yes, exactly. They were recorded, and many of them were you can find on YouTube.
Were there certain companies you expected to find there that never showed up?
No, I was more excited about the company I didn't know about that showed up, and there was and you noticed that I'm a smoker, and when I went out for a smoke late in the afternoon, there was just people just, can we have a smoke?
Yeah.
And then I got some modules for free because
Oh, there you go. Hey, whatever works. Yeah.
because you couldn't buy cigarettes like.
Oh, Berlin, yeah.
So you always bring a cartoon.
It's a barter system. Yeah.
Yeah. You make friends that way. Especially after 5 o'clock.
Okay, Okay, so this year I will take some mushrooms with me.
I said, is that worth alcohol too?
Exchange them for modular synth or something like that.
And then a screwdriver. You can get this do for trigger delay for a vice beer.
How do you travel? I know, Chris, you don't travel far to go to Superbooth, but Per, how do you travel? Do you take a bus, train, plane? You go from Denmark.
I tried everything.
You fly?
I prefer train.
Yeah.
I was delayed because I had to travel across half of Denmark by train.
Yeah.
So I prefer train because of environmental reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have flown to Berlin.
Yeah.
Because I had to finish a job at work.
But I think that it's not too inconvenient to travel by train from Denmark to Berlin. Oh.
There are some.
It still is because from Copenhagen you have to take the train from Copenhagen to Jylland, to Hamburg, and then to Berlin.
You have to change several times.
Yeah, so it's almost at the moment you have to travel 3 times the distance.
Yeah, I think it's 8 hours by train, 12 hours by bus, 10 to 12, and 1 hour by plane.
1 hour by plane, 55 minutes.
Afterwards.
But they're building a new bridge and tunnels. No new tunnel to
directly to Berlin.
No, to Hamburg.
No.
Okay.
From Copenhagen directly to Hamburg. So that will cut about 1.5 hours.
The tunnel will not be from Copenhagen to Hamburg. It will be from
from the
island of Lolland.
coast. Yeah.
Belt.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary about
But it's still some years in the future before
But
they're
they're
done.
doing it. At least.
They started digging.
Yeah. Have you had any surprises when you go to these shows? You talked about, Pierre, that you like to see those you don't know. Be surprised by those.
I'm always surprised when I go there.
Yeah, you always discover stuff that you would never have seen without going there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for example, one thing which was a big discovery for me was Marcel with Modor, with his drum machines. So
Yeah.
it's expensive stuff and you don't know it, and if you can try it out in person, so I think you will hesitate to spend 2,000 euro for a drum machine you don't know, and ordering it. But if you have a chat with a guy and he explains you and tells you how it works and sends you one at home to make a video, then you get a whole different relationship to a brand like this.
Yeah.
And then you finish by talking positively about it and recommending the stuff and liking it also. And this, for example, is a very nice discovery for me. This was 2 or 3 years ago, and Also one thing I really enjoyed was meeting the people from Head, this company who makes loudspeakers and those big headphones.
Mhm.
You saw them?
No. I
Uh,
missed that.
it's a kind of high-end studio headphone where you can really mix and master with. So, and, they sent me one to make a video also, and yeah, and then I could keep it, and I was extremely happy about this because it's the best headphone in the world.
Yeah.
And every time we meet now at Superbooth, it's like being friends, and what's the news, and are you still satisfied with your headphone? Do you want to try some loudspeakers? This is how you make relationships also with people.
Yeah.
Those ones like $1,000 usually, something like that.
Excuse me?
That brand is like $1,000 for headphones or something crazy like that, or
No, it's more like $2,000.
2,000. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I've seen them.
It's
They were at NAMM as well.
It's HEDD.
Yeah, I think they were at NAMM as well. They're
Yeah, I think so.
boutique headphones. Yeah.
That's
they
a
make
whole lot of
very
secret.
and they also make studio monitors that are really high end, also very expensive stuff. And but it's a very nice brand, very good company, very serious, and really good products. And so Superbooth is not only about modular synths and Eurorack. Especially in the last year, there were a lot of stands with people with studio technology. Last year there was SSL also showing all those rack modules. You could test them, and there was a whole room only with high-end studio tech. Very nice also to have the possibility to try it and to see it and talk about it. Yeah. So if you're into this, it's also a very nice place to go. And I think they also, last year they also added a room where they had guitar equipment. So like amplifiers and guitar effects and more guitar related stuff with some smaller brands. So, and after what I understood, Schneider is planning also to go more into this guitar field to create something new. I don't know. We will see. Maybe it will be a new surprise.
Yeah, but I think it's the basic feel that I tried to explain about how it's nice to be there.
Yeah, totally. It's a pleasure.
And I think that it also makes. Maybe it started with Eurorack modular or just modular, and then expanded outwards because there was also some studio gears made in modular format, and the borders are blurring a lot.
Yeah, this is also interesting to see how things are integrated when each other. You see Eurorack modules like compressors or effects or some stuff like this. And yeah, it's
or like Series 500.
Yeah.
It's kind of a crossover between modular and studio equipment.
And this is where we sing a song.
Chevalier de la table ronde.
Per, the evenings there. You talked a little about After 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are the evenings there?
I only experienced it once.
Hmm?
It was very, very nice. And exactly what you could expect from Berlin. And but usually I try to get back to my hotel because I always brought my modular with me, so I was very inspired to go make some patching and then have a glass of wine to myself and a cigarette on the balcony at the.
So after 5 in the bungalow area, is there anything really going on? Does everyone migrate to somewhere else?
Everyone is migrating somewhere else because the last time I was there was it was like a 6 kilometers walk from the hotel
Wow.
to the venue.
Okay.
It was very beautiful because it's through some kind of a forest, and there was in the middle of it there was this kind of a gypsy park with travelers. That was also very fascinating. I didn't know there was this kind of area in Berlin at all. So stumbling across it was also kind of very interesting and a gift.
Yeah, this is Berlin. Surprises on every corner.
It's so
Are there-
diverse, and that's the beauty of it.
Are there any places, Chris, that people not knowing Berlin should see in Berlin?
Yeah, of course. There are very nice places that are totally ignored, like the place where I live here. It's more in the north of the city, in Pankow. Actually, there was also a band called Pankow back in the days. And yeah, this in the former eastern part of Berlin. So you have very old buildings. Just around my home, there's an old castle also from the Prussian kings with a nice park around it. And so we have a lot of very nice places also in Berlin that are nice to see and that are not, with the normal Berlin cliche where everything is a little bit rocked down and beaten up and messy. So yeah, there are also nice places and things that are really worth to visit. For example, here just in my neighborhood, there's a kind of Soviet monument from the Second World War. They built in the 50s to commemorate the Russian soldiers that were killed to liberate Germany. And it's like a football field. It's gigantic, with statues and all those Russian stuff. It's like in Kaliningrad, just 5 minutes from here. And this is the charm of the city. And yeah, but unfortunately, it's not the same. It was, let's say, 20, 25, 30 years ago after the wall came down. So nowadays it becomes very difficult to live here in the city, and it's not what we had in mind when we came here as creative people 20, 25 years ago, like me or Andreas Schneider or all the other people, because when we came here, what we found was a big empty field with a lot of opportunities. So you could have a flat for nothing that had 150 square meters. You could rent a shop or a studio for nothing and make whatever you like, a club, your studio, your business, your everything
Yeah.
was cheap. You could really do whatever you wanted to try and to make. And this is how this Berlin spirit came up, actually. And all this in conjunction, of course, with this techno music in the 90s and electronic stuff.
Well,
And
Tangerine Dream, right?
no. This was before. Tangerine Dream is music for old people.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm talking about the 90s and the younger people that came to Berlin to make art, to make music, to develop the whole thing, and to make it what it is today. But unfortunately, what we see now is that people like us cannot afford to live in the city anymore.
Yeah, it's the same here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so it's it's a pity. And but what can we do? And this explains also a bit the mindset that people like Andreas Schneider are planning stuff like Superbooth, because it comes from this mindset that you can do everything in the city. You just need a good idea and the energy to do it. So, and back in the days, everybody could do it, and a lot of people did stuff like this. And this is why we have a city full of interesting people, with a lot of culture and a lot of things happening. Yeah, but as I said, it becomes more and more difficult for us. And and we don't know how it will develop.
Everyone is going to Lisbon next year.
Yeah, but Lisbon becomes even more expensive than Berlin now.
Yeah.
So already, my cousin lives in Lisbon, and already Lisbonians or the natives of Lisbon cannot afford the rent there anymore.
Yeah.
Because all the Americans are going there and take the flats, and it's also a catastrophe.
The capital of Georgia. I heard that should be wonderful.
In Georgia, it's very nice. They have good wine, also good food.
Exactly.
Very nice people. They are always good mood, and but it's very close to Russia.
Yeah.
You can't win them all.
And I don't really know if I would really like to live there, so I'm not sure.
Also, the Georgian conflict they had there a few decades ago was the cause of a huge virus that got released on the internet. So,
so
I'll still go for Berlin. I think they have a decade more in it.
Yeah. So, what is the next city that you can discover? I think we made them all now in Europe. They all became expensive, and there's nothing left. So back in the days, you could go to Amsterdam or to Brussels or cities or Barcelona. 20 years ago, Barcelona was a big thing, but now you can afford to go to Barcelona. It's impossible. But it's also a very nice city.
It's kind of the sign of the success of the European Union.
Yeah, absolutely.
do they have any big synth shows in like Paris or somewhere like that?
No, in Paris there isn't a big synth show. There's the Synthfest France, and this takes place in I think in Nantes. It's a city in northwestern France.
Bretagne or something like that.
Yeah, it's more in the direction of the Bretagne. Nantes. It's it's near like where the Loire flows into the ocean. The Loire River. Synthfest France, yes. Very nice party also.
Okay.
I always plan to go there because I'm also half French, but until now I didn't make it because it's also far away.
Yeah. you think there's anything we haven't talked about about the booth? You don't know, Pierre. You didn't hear the beginning.
Have you talked about gear?
Pierre?
Gear?
Gear. Yes, of course.
Any expectations or news coming up?
Yeah, I know 2 or 3 things, but I can't say it. It's secret.
Yeah. I'm quite excited about the Dubrick.
This is stylophone.
The British.
The stylophone.
The
Stylophone
Theremin,
company,
stuff like that.
and the new drone synth.
Yeah.
I think that looks very, very interesting.
Somebody wrote in the comments, Superbooth 2025 in Lisbon. Yeah, why not?
Okay, there is people in here. Okay. You Kurzweil.
2061. And a half, maybe. Kurzweil 2061 and a half. Yeah, I had a Kurzweil K2000 back in the days, and if you look at those new ones now, they look exactly the same.
It's similar, yeah.
And I'm sure they also do exactly the same.
They have new
never
engines.
tried.
So they still have vast under the hood, but they have new engines and quick access to those engines, which is pretty clever.
Yeah, but back in the days, for me, it was the best sampler on the
That's
market.
great.
Because I didn't
Vast
like
is crazy.
the Akai
Most
stuff.
people never mastered Vast. You could spend years working on that stuff and come up with new things. So
Yeah, really great instrument. Maybe I should buy one again.
But the legacy stuff was good too. The
500.
K250 and all those older ones.
Yeah. They might be quite cheap on eBay until tonight.
So, okay, bye. I will go on.
Exactly.
But I will take a rack module. Yeah, so actually I didn't want to buy any synthesizers anymore. I have enough, I decided. For the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
That's a long time. What do you bring home from Superbooth?
A lot of stickers, T-shirts, bags, posters, mouse pads. Are you okay? Yeah. And all the stuff you find on. One of the nicest things I found on the Superbooth last year actually was those Oberheim wooden. You put them on the table.
Yeah, for
beers.
For your glass.
Yeah, Dave Smith was doing those at Synthplex a few years ago.
Okay.
Nice wooden carved.
They look absolutely nice. I love them.
Dave Smith also gave out shot glasses too. That was one of his trademarks. Because he loved tequila, so he'd always do tequila shots.
So
you
said,
but that's another nice thing about Superbooth, that then you stumble across Dave Smith, and he's a legend in synth development. And just like go over to him and say,
He's
Hi,
just a
Dave.
regular guy. Yeah, super nice guy. Yeah, he was cool.
Exactly, and I just had to say hello, and then I love what you've done for
I mean, all these guys are
electronic
like
music.
that. You meet Tom Oberheim. I met Don Buchla when he was still alive. I saw Moog on stage. I didn't get to meet him, but I saw him on stage in an event, and they're all just like regular guys, you know.
Yeah, and extremely kind and
Open-minded.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, and that's another thing about the event that everyone is there in their own right and just loving electronic music and sound generation.
Yeah, okay. So,
You also, when you are there, are there any famous people around? Dave Smith was, but who do you see when you are there?
on Superbooth, you see a lot of artists, like all the techno producers from Berlin. You usually see on YouTube or Instagram, like Hannes Bieger or people like this. They're just walking around and trying this stuff, you know. They're
So
also
Gaz
just
Williams
normal
walking around.
people. It's just other dudes making music, you know. So, but of course, here in Berlin, we're also used to meet people and to see celebrities or people who think they are celebrities. So it's totally normal.
I don't understand
Hast du den
how the crew at
aufgelassen?
Snyder's Laden
Kann ich da jetzt mal
convinced
reinholen?
Daniel Miller to play a concert there.
You should hear that, Chris.
I was surprised how the team at Snyder's Laden, convinced Daniel Miller to play a concert at MSB.
Yeah, I think there's also a close relationship between Daniel Miller and Andreas Schneider.
Yeah, but that was another special thing about being there.
Yeah, of course. You meet
that
people like this, yeah.
that you could see something that wasn't possible anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, there was this guy, how's he called, Stimming, who makes all kind of
He's
master
good. Yeah.
classes.
Stimming, yeah.
And he also presented a little mastering box he made with a company, I don't remember the name. A special box to master your live set if you're making a live set with your modular stuff. So he developed a special box for mastering sound before going to the sound system. So now you can just talk to the guys and have a chat and they explain to you what was the idea behind. So I like this. It's
Yeah.
easy exchange of ideas, communication. Nothing better than this.
MLC Fanon, a space center with a swimming pool for family.
Yeah, there's also a space center inside.
I'm really fascinated about the old Soviet space
The venue, yeah.
they have at the Poland booth.
Yeah, the whole place is very special. It has a kind of old Eastern European atmosphere. But this is part.
That's so cool. That's so again out of this world, or in a different or just the same world in a different context.
Yeah, and also while the Superbooth is running, I think also the public swimming pool is working. So during the daytime, you have people going to swim while other people are walking around to watch synthesizers. Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
And you can go into the swimming pool canteen and buy fries, and there's just children.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and there were classes with children coming to swim while the Superbooth takes place. Yeah, everything is possible.
And the officials at the Superbooth just had to put all the children through because they had to go swimming and they had to go through the main hall. Beautiful.
I did invite Herr Schneider, but he wasn't available. He had 2 other appointments.
Or 3.
But maybe next time, or maybe I'll try to catch him on Superbooth. Let's see.
Yeah, I made a funny interview last year with Herr Schneider. You can see this on my channel. And actually, he wasn't aware that... what was it? It was Apple presenting Logic Audio for the iPad. And usually a company like Apple would present this for, NEM Show or CES or something like this. And last year they presented this on point 2 days before the Superbooth. And so I told him in my interview, if you were aware that even companies like Apple are now scheduling the releases of the new products after the Superbooth. And so he was a bit surprised. But, he accepted it. So, and he was also very happy.
Yeah, he's always entertaining in interviews, so it's...
Yeah. Okay, so I think I will leave you now because we will finish the mix.
Yeah. Another song on the... What was it? You made a track, a video some days ago that actually made it to the Behringer webpage. No, not webpage, Facebook page.
Yeah. We made a live session with Behringer Monopoly, and Hannes, my colleague, played the drums, on Ableton, and the bass on the SH101, and it was a nice, funky arpeggio session like we always do, and I posted this on Facebook, and it was cancelled because it was the kind of brutal and I don't know what to say. So it was very funny. It was censored by Facebook, a music video, because there was violence in it. I reposted this and I said, "Oh, my sound is too brutal for Facebook." So you never know.
You should, on your next album, put that on
Facebook.
The cover. Yeah, censor on Facebook.
Too hot for YouTube, for Facebook. Yeah.
Too hard for Facebook.
Yeah.
This is a good song title. Too hard for Facebook.
Yeah.
Too violent for Facebook.
Yeah.
Then you have something to for free tonight.
Wenn du die mischt und masterst, dann wär's fertig.
All right. So now I have my work schedule for tonight.
Then you got some song titles for free tonight, at least.
Yeah, we have 3 new tracks. We need titles. Okay, so it was nice to see you, and I hope
Yeah.
that we will meet at Superbooth and have a chat, and then we'll make a video, of course.
Yeah,
Some
same to you.
nice and funny discoveries, and to exchange, and maybe have a wine or a beer together. And maybe I will also have a surprise at this Superbooth. So watch out.
Yeah. Thanks. See you.
Okay, so it was nice to see you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. So now it's just us. So now we can start the party.
This will be too hot for YouTube.
Yeah. So that was the German view, and now we only have California and Copenhagen and Ballerup outside
My view is
Copenhagen.
only speculation since I haven't been there. So
You caught up.
You're glitching.
Andy.
what happened?
We couldn't hear what you say.
Oh, but I just said my view is just speculation since I haven't been there. So
Yeah, but you know NAM and all that. We never get to NAM.
Yeah, it's fun. Synthplex was excellent too. I wish they had one this year, but they didn't make it. But that's one of those little small events where you can bump into tons of famous folks like Alan Howarth and Suzanne Ciani's walking the hallways, and then like 2 hours later she's doing a live Buchla set in quad. Just mind-blowing stuff. Yeah.
I have to go to the little room again, so
no problem.
you just continue.
Sure. So I guess since we talk about the good stuff, what was your least favorite thing at Superbooth?
The placement. Definitely, there's nowhere near you can get a package of cigarette or a hotel.
Right.
It's although it placed in the outskirts of central Berlin. It's really remote placed.
But that also gives it that vibe too, right? Because it's like a little isolated spot for.
Yeah, I
casual
suppose
hangout.
they chose it for that reason.
NAMM is just noisy. I mean, NAMM is just constantly like if you watch those time lapse videos of ants or whatever, it's just like it's just constant movement, constant noise.
I never tried NAMM, but they say the first time I went to Superbooth, I was just like, my brain is spoiling. It's so noisy, and everyone said, "This is not NAMM. It's quiet."
Yeah.
Because, but it was because I didn't have any experience.
Right.
So I guess most people think that it's quiet.
Do they have like if you had a backpack full of gear you brought in just to have with you? Do they have like these checkpoints and they inspect all of your stuff and all that?
No, not really.
No. So they don't confiscate stuff from you, like, oh, you're not supposed to bring your own drinks in here. You're not supposed to bring your own whatever kind of stuff.
They did check my bag. There was a water bottle in it, and a rain suit, and some.
They didn't care. That was okay. That was okay. They didn't care if you had that.
No problem.
That's good. Yeah, because a lot of these festival kind of things, they want you to buy their drinks and their food and their whatever. So they'll call it a security thing, but also make you throw out stuff you brought to save money.
Yeah. That's not the feeling there. Not at all.
That's good.
it's just getting into synthesizers.
Yeah.
And I had a firm belief that the people at the reception was also working at Snyder's Laden. They just fulfilled a different function. So through all of the check-in, I felt very, very welcome every time.
That's good. Yeah, because NAMM's in a big city. It's in Anaheim, so Disneyland's right there. There's all kinds of weirdos around there, so they have to look for guns and knives and everything. So
yeah, at Superbooth, it's just like they open your bag and then they look into it, and then they see the mess of a female bag I'm carrying around with gloves and deodorant and probably a spare part of never mind.
yeah,
it's just like,
but they're cool
he's
about it.
just
Sounds
messy
like.
head.
Yeah, sounds like a good environment.
Perhaps we should end the stream for today, and then Per, you're welcome another time.
I hope I will. It was a joy to be here.
Yeah,
good
same
stuff.
to you. And you have a lot to talk about about synthesizers, so I know you can be on any stream, and it will be interesting. So let's do this again.
For sure.
Yes. And Andy, you are also always welcome.
Thanks. Always have a good time.
Yeah, you too. So, as usual, I will play the outro, and you are welcome to hang on so we can talk after the stream.
Yep.
And to all the chatters, it was a joy having you here too. Please join us again next time. I haven't planned what it will be about. It will be in 3 weeks, so it's still before Superbooth, but now we have talked about that, so it will be something else. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.